Let's see if this is a fresh ale or an. Oh, well, that wasn't too bad. Everybody, hope y'all are doing well today. This week's Take Two review is for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, the new remake, reboot, whatever. It's about these four 20-somethings going to a small town in Texas to gentrify it, more or less. It's pretty much a ghost town, and they're going to try to make it a new It town. First thing in the movie is they have like a reality show talking about the first movie, and John Larroquette does the intro. I like that. I like John Larroquette. Big Night Court fan and big Texas Chainsaw fan. And I have a really odd history with Texas Chainsaw Massacre because I did not see the first one first. I saw the second one first as a kid, and then the third one, some family members used to bootleg VHS tapes, not to sell, but you know, if they rented something and they liked it, they'd make a copy. And they made me a copy of the third one, and I wore it out. So, you know, those two are my heart. And then finally, in the 90s, I finally got to see the first one, and it's in there too. The fourth one I put off watching for years because it's the fourth one. And all the different remakes and reboots have something that I like, even if they might be more or less crap. And some of them's more crap than less, and others are, you know, the opposite. But this one, it's not terrible, but I'm just going to talk about the things that stuck out to me. There is somewhat a vein in it about culture war type stuff. And, I mean, you know, we're all guilty of it anymore, whether you believe on one side or the other about things. But you kind of want to watch a movie to escape, and while it's worth doing in sometimes, you know, we need a little less politics in our movies. But that didn't last a whole lot of time in it, so I won't count that against it a whole lot. The guy that you end up finding out is like their handyman and all kinds of other things is a dick to him when they first meet him at this little gas station, and he has a coal roller, and I hate coal rollers. If you don't know what that is, just look it up. Talking about gentrification in small town America, that happens a lot in my area, so I can kind of feel for the characters in the small town. I mean, you need money, you need investment, you need all that, but sometimes the people aren't worth the trouble. They have one bit of foreshadowing when someone's talking about face. You just have to see it. Sometimes my notes on these aren't that great. Racism, there's a rebel flag in the town, which is like, you find out that that's where Leatherface is, because his mom is, you know, living there, and he's living there. And the people that are going to gentrify the town, they're going to open up a restaurant. They thought they'd pretty much bought the town, and they thought they'd bought this woman's house, but they hadn't. But they thought they had, and they end up making her have a like a fit seizure type thing, and the law has to come because they're also the EMTs and try to take her to get help. Well, she dies, and the first two kills are those cops, and my note is fan-fucking-tastic first two kills, and they are. There's a lot of bone breaking in this. If you don't like bone breaking, like where you see the physical bone, please don't watch this movie. This review will be enough for you. He cuts off his mother's face. I guess to honor her, and puts it on. So I've got the note. You have your mother's face. Leatherface, though, in this, at least for the first few kills, is actually justified in my mind. You know, he's getting revenge. But after that, it's kind of, you know, he's just Leatherface. Sally Hardesty comes back again. You know, they had her in one of those reboots as a member of the Sawyer family. But in this, you know, she's back, but it's not the same actress because she's passed on. Let's see. Sally's back. The badass guy, Leatherface, actually starts killing more people, and the badass guy that was their handyman and stuff tries to save the day, and Leatherface kicks his ass. Leatherface doesn't use the saw for about a good 60% of the movie, but when he does get it, it's been walled up in a wall. You never see him put gas in it, or oil, or anything. If it's been walled up in a wall, that means it's been there a while. That gas is dead. The motherfucker wouldn't start. It's probably jailed up. It wouldn't start. That's the one thing I hate. That's just total bullshit. I know it's a movie. You're supposed to suspend disbelief. But it's bullshit. Everyone ends up on the bus because they had a tour bus to come out to that town with people so they could show them the town. And the driver and the lawyer that helped the people, our main characters, get to town, open the door on the bus after everybody's gotten on the bus, even the girls that had, you know, tried to get away from Leatherface. And they open the door like idiots because something's slowed down the bus, which is probably Leatherface cutting the tire. But the driver gets his head cut off, and the lawyer runs back in, and then you proceed to see everyone get killed, and lots of them film their own death. It's, you know, very apropos for today's world. Yeah. Then there's several showdowns between Sally and Leatherface and the two final girls and Leatherface. And, you know, they're okay. In the end, the ending I won't spoil, but it's kind of dumb. Just is. The movie was made in Ontario, Canada instead of Texas, which I find funny, but that might just be me. At the very end, they have a little clip of Leatherface going back to an old homestead. So maybe they're going to make a sequel on Netflix. Who knows? It will probably do good enough to get a sequel. In my opinion, it's watchable. I would probably buy it since I have all the others. Is it something I'm going to get excited to rewatch? No. It's not terrible. I've seen it get really, really bad reviews, but it's mediocre. With great gore, though. But mediocre. Anyways, that's all I got. We'll see y'all next time.